Okay, so we're going to start in hands and knees with the cat-cow. Inhale as you drop the belly down. Exhale as you push yourself away from the mat. Paying attention what's going on at the pelvic floor. As you inhale, you should feel the pelvic floor slightly lengthen. And as you exhale, you should feel it slightly come up. Then we're going to do some, I call them child's pose circles. This is also really good for helping baby to get into a good position. Reverse your circle. Then we're going to do some rock backs. So what I try to do here is put my knees in and my feet out to do some internal rotation. That is good for opening up the pelvic outlet where baby comes out. And then I have the ball here to do some breathing in my child's pose. The ball helps just to give, if I had a pregnant belly, my pregnant belly some space. Also is a really good stretch in my upper back. And here I'm just practicing some breathing techniques of inhale of 4, exhale for 6, paying attention what's going on in my pelvic floor, just releasing and relaxing. And then I go over to my right side. And I'm trying to stretch out my left side, so I'm sending my inhale, my air to that side to help lengthen and stretch that side. And then I'll go over to the other side, a few breaths here, same thing. And I'm trying to bring my right hip toward my right heel. Just the force of that direction to help with that stretch on the right side of my body. I'm going to bring one leg up, doing some back and forth low lunges. This is stretching out my right hip flexor as well as my left hamstring. I'm just using the ball as support for balance. This is good for helping to get baby through the mid-pelvis. And of course you want to do both sides, so step your right foot up and do the same thing. And one thing you want to pay attention to, I don't know if I'm demonstrating it well here, but you want the tailbone pointed downward as you're doing this to get the most out of that hip flexor stretch on the left. And we're going to add a little side bend. Feels really good, so I'm stretching out my left hip flexor plus my left side body. And I forgot to do that on the other side, so I'm going back to put my left side up and stretching over with my right hand to feel that stretch. What I'm trying to do, the whole point of this is just creating more space in my body for baby to move around so they can get into a good position and rotate like they need to throughout the pelvis to make labor a little bit faster. So here I have a yoga block. And this is also helping with the mid pelvis. So I'm kind of shimmying them down my pelvis. Yeah. And doing some cat-cows in that position too. So I'm thinking side to side, up and down. So any way I can move to just help baby along their path. Of course, you want to do this on both sides. I tell people to bring their yoga mat with them to the hospital or wherever they are birthing, so they have the availability and movement to do this, because this isn't really comfortable to do in a hospital bed. Okay, legs out. Okay, so doing some internal, external rotation. I call these windshield wipers. Getting some hip mobility here. The better the hips can move, the easier it is for baby to move through the pelvis. So it's just a little mobility drill that I like to do. I add this on to all of my prenatal classes. And then some lateral stretching. A lot of times our ribs, we're not able to move much because of baby's placement, but we need mobility in our ribs just so they can have more room to rotate and move down. And then we're stretching over to the, I think that's my right. Yeah, that's my right. This is a stretch that you feel in the back of your hip. So in the back of my right hip, I feel this. It's like a modified pigeon pose. And do the same thing over to the left. My bad, went the wrong way. Stretch. You can try both ways, you know. There's no, I think this way felt better to me. So you can try both ways, but I think this way, stretching toward the bent leg, was better. And then doing my stretching my glutes and my piriformis here. Stretching out the back of the left hip. Really good for if you have sciatic pain issues or low back issues. Maybe I stretched the wrong way on the other one and I was like, you know what, I need to be even. Let me go back to that side. I'm sure that's what happened. I was like, just for funsies, might as well stretch it out again. Especially if you have a side that's bothering you more, it's okay to do that side twice. It needs a little bit more love if that's the side that's bothering you. All right, so I'm standing up. I'm getting I think this is looks big. I think that's my 8-pound weight. Yeah, that's my 8-pound weight. So this is opening up the posterior, the back of my pelvic floor. So as I'm doing that, I'm really trying to focus on stretching and strengthening this one's my right butt cheek. So whatever leg is in front, that's the butt cheek that you're focusing on. You're like stretching it out as you bend and also strengthening it. So you're doing like an eccentric contraction to help with that stretch. And then we got goddess squats. So just another way to open up the pelvis so baby can move a little bit easier. Yeah, inhale as you go down, exhale as you come up. Kind of using that exhale to power you back up to standing. And these are 5-pound weights. Just doing regular squats and some shoulder presses. A lot of people ignore training their arms during pregnancy, but like since this baby come out, like you have to carry them everywhere. Like they don't walk for a while, so you need to have strong arms as well. So I like to mix in leg and arm work because you'll need all of it. And this is a clamshell with the bottom leg and internal rotation. So I'm strengthening the glute med, which are the sides of my hips, as well as creating space in the outlet with the internal rotation. It's really good to have strong hips because that's what supports your low back, reduces low back pain. So not only do I want mobility in my hips, but I want stability as well, because if they just all wonky and stuff, then your back's gonna hurt. It doesn't have any support. So having strong hips and glutes is important. All right, what I got here? I think I'm gonna do my low squat. Yep, low malasana squat. If that is uncomfortable, you can get a block of some sort to rest upon, and then using the elbows to pull my leg backwards. You can do side to side. Just breathing here, working on relaxation of the pelvic floor, releasing and letting go. And then I got my stability ball. So most hospital rooms should have this in the rooms. I know the ones around here do. But you can do some pelvic tilts back and forth, either during a contraction or in between a contraction. Just trying to move a little bit to help baby get through that pelvis quicker. So whatever we can do so we're not there all day, I am for it. So we got some side to sides. Now we're doing some circles. And these are things you can even do before birth. If you're having any back pain, hip pain, just going into the yoga ball and doing these moves can help alleviate some of those pregnancy aches and pains. And that's all I have. Goodbye. If you made it to the end of this video, congratulations. Well, of course, I want to give you something extra than just some movement, because we need to know how to breathe and push and labor positions and all the things. So if you look in the description, I have a link to my free push prep guide. Please go there, click that, get that, because you need that. Love you, bye.